why don't you introduce yourselves to us?
I'll go first.
Yep.
Ian Simpson, Chief Executive, GNS Science.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad to see you together. I want more friendship with New Zealand GNS. Thank you very much.
Kia ora, I'm Alec Wilson, Chairman of the Waiariki Maori Geothermal Advisory Group.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. So, if we all just take a moment and think about all the interesting discussion we've had so far, what's stuck in your mind as being interesting or surprising that you've heard this morning? Does it have to be in order? Is there anything?
Well, my look at this morning, how close they are to us Maoris, and how they use their steam and those things. We've been using it for something like 1,500 years, and they're so close to what we do.
Great, thanks.
I'm good at expression and these members. I'm very, very glad. Thank you very much.
I'm also quite amazed at the similarities, both between the history of the two countries in terms of the use of the geothermal resource, but also the questions we're now facing about how we can continue to use the resources sustainably.
Great. Suzuki-san,
Yes.
what do you think about is the future of geothermal in Japan?
Oh, I see. And geothermal.
Suzuki, just looking at Andrea.
Oh, I see.
Talk to me.
Oh, sorry.
Future of geothermal in Japan, what do you think it is?
Oh, I think we want to more exploitation of Japan at geothermal, and this exploitation is New Zealand is very, very good. So we want to more friendship with New Zealand and more technology in Japan, and New Zealand and the Japanese company more friendship and business chance. I think the more the chance of making. Thank you very much.
Gracias. I think that's all we need, just a couple of bits. So thank you.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Great.
So I'll get the next lot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As I'll ask you to introduce yourself. So just your name and where you're from, okay?
And starting with the left there, thank you.
So with you, so would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Nobuyuki Omura. I'm the chairman of the Japan Geological Society, and I think it was a good opportunity to come here, and we have the nice, really good session, and I also expect another good session in the afternoon. And now the society has more than 60 companies that related with geothermal activity in Japan. So I think the activity in New Zealand is very interesting, and we have the opportunity to talk to with those people. I think the dinner session.
So I'm Mike Allen, so I'm the Executive Director of...
Sorry, Mike, just looking at Andrea, thanks.
I'm Mike Allen, I'm the Executive Director of Geothermal New Zealand, which is like the Japanese Geothermal Association. It's not quite so large in membership, but it does represent 30 or 40 companies who are all interested in exporting our services internationally. New Zealand's been working offshore on and off for the last 50 years, as you know, and we're looking to build that relationship.
Hello, my name is Toshitosha. I'm Jovic, but mainly I'm working in the Kumamoto University in Kyushu. And as you know, Kyushu is a very much of the potential in geothermal, like the Rotorua, and also the slight similar situation. You know, is TBZ is now opening, and Kumamoto also now opening. Quite similar, and it's quite similar scenario. So I'm quite interested. And I was a member of the GNS in 1993 to 1995. So I'm very happy to back to my home country, second home countries. Yeah.
Right, that's great. So if you just take a moment and you think about all the things you heard this morning, and what is interesting that sticks in your mind? What's the thing that you were perhaps surprised by or interested by?
Okay, I learned historical geothermal usage by Maori, and also there is a good cooperation with those people and developers. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I think there was a nice comparison between the development of the J-Powers just completing in Japan and the story about the efforts that went into Ngātamariki to make sure that the Ōrākei Karaka was protected. And I think it was a very nice balance, and good to see it's happening on both sides and we're sharing experiences.
Yeah, I think there are some similarities of development of geothermal in Japan and New Zealand, but some of the difference. And for example, the line capacity to sending the electricity as an idea is a little bit different. So I think it's such a small difference. We've been making the good correlation to understand each other. So we need more and more communications to cover such with the misunderstandings.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
good.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, why don't you start to make you feel comfortable? Why don't you introduce yourself?
All right.
Yeah.
My name is Kasumi Yasukawa, and I'm working for National Institute called AIST, and I'm working Geological Survey of Japan. It's a part of the AIST, but recently I was moved to another section of AIST, which is Renewable Energy Center.
So, how long have you been working in geothermal?
More than 30 years. Quite long. I'm so old.
I'm so old. Why don't you
Yes.
tell me about, what do you think about gender equality in Japan and perhaps geothermal?
Generally talking, gender equality is not very much achieved yet in Japan, but talking about geothermal society in Japan, geothermal society or geothermal business, it's very equal, I think. At least for researchers, I felt more equality in Geothermal Research Association of Japan compared to other natural resources. For example, for oil business, people are so much pursuing some business profit, and in such societies, the competition is so large, and competition among companies, competition man and woman, and such kind of things. And compared to these businesses, geothermal is so how can I say it? The men in geothermal society is very gentleman. They are so kind to women. So I was very comfortable in geothermal society or geothermal business. That's why I stayed in geothermal study all my research work.
So you say that it's because men are so kind, but what other things make geothermal industry good for women? What do you think are the elements that make it good?
Elements.
Maybe what could women bring to geothermal that maybe a milk.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what aspects of women do you think make geothermal projects more successful? What do you think that is different about women that make geothermal projects successful?
Different from. I don't understand.
Okay.
Difference between man and woman?
Yeah, is there a difference between men and women and what they bring to a project?
I don't think so. In the sense of study, there's no difference, I think. But in real project, maybe women can play very important role to make mutual understanding, especially for local people. I think, generally speaking, local people are they might feel more relaxed with talking with women. So maybe we can make some difference in such a sense. And I was mainly talking about some research and academia feeling, but there's another aspect about geothermal business. In Japan, when we say geothermal, that is mainly for power generation. But in the world, geothermal is also related to direct use. And in Japan, the major part of direct use is hot spring, onsen spa. And in onsen spa business, woman is very important. And most of the onsen spa is owned by local hotels, specialized for hot spring spa. And in these hotels, the owners mainly couples of man and woman, and this woman play very important role to hospitalize their customers. They have special manner, and the man never comes to see the customer, but mainly the woman comes to see the customers, and they have very special ways to hospitalize the customers, and it's very important thing in Japan. So it is another aspect of the role of woman in geothermal business.
Great, that's good. And so what do you hope for the future for young women? Maybe you have some advice for young women working in Japan?
Yes, I would like to say that, as I said before, to be a researcher in geothermal business is very comfortable in terms of gender equality. So I would like to invite all these women who are interested in geothermal business or some research works, and it's very interesting. And through geothermal study or geothermal business, we can visit very interesting places in the world, not only in Japan, but in New Zealand, Iceland, America, everywhere in the world. And it's really exciting. And wherever I go to some geothermal sites, the food is so special and so good. So I want to invite all the young women who are interested in geothermal research or any business. I'd like to invite them.
That's good. Is there anything that you want to add or that you think about or would like to say before we finish?
Well, I found that generally all these geothermal research people in the world is very nice people, and especially women researchers are so nice. In the world, they say that women are more jealousy and not rather selfish or something. This kind of bad saying are existing, but at least as long as I know, all these geothermal women are so nice and so friendly, and I have very good friends all around the world, so I'm very happy about it.
That's awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Kasumi. That was awesome.
Thank you very much.
Perfect.